So this is part 2 of creating a Debian VM using automation and Vagrant. So let's go see how we fared. So we see the tail end of iTerm and what it did. And we see that everything processed as normal. So we now should be able to close this window, and we should have our running VirtualBox. Now it's running, but I don't see any UI. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut this down, and then I'm going to restart it. So here's the box that we created. So we're going to start this box. One thing I'm going to do before I do that is I'm going to check a few things. One thing is I've got my 2 gig like I wanted. Processors, everything looks good. Everything looks good. So the only thing I might want to do is to enable 3D acceleration, if not already enabled. Now I'm going to go ahead and start this. And this will be our first official run of this VM. So that should come up pretty quickly. And then we get this dialog for Vagrant default user. So a couple of things. One is I'm going to put my VM into full screen mode. And when I click this, it'll ask for a password. The password is Vagrant, V-A-G-R-A-N-T. Now, Debian uses the Genome UI interface by default, and it's a really clean interface. You don't see any menus or desktop. In order to activate the menu, you click this Activities button over here, and then you see things on the side. If you want to run an application like Terminal, you can either click this button to show all applications, or you can search. Now, the one I want to do is Terminator. One thing I'm going to do too is I'm going to add this to favorites. I'm also going to add Chromium to favorites and settings. And then I'm going to get rid of this one, help, and files. Don't use those very often. Okay. And then we're going to run Terminator. Now, Terminator is a terminal emulator that we installed during the setup. We're going to customize this just a little bit. One is I don't like this red background, so if I go right-click here, Preferences, I can change that background color to something a little softer, maybe like this blue here. Okay. So you can see it's not as obnoxious. The other thing is that we installed all the Photon software as root, so we're going to go ahead and become root. su dash. I'm noticing one other thing. I like this black background, but I want this foreground to be a little bit brighter. Right now it's kind of an off-white, so I'm going to go back into my preferences, profiles, colors, and I'm going to, instead of gray on black, I'm going to do white on black. And you'll see it's a little crisper there. Okay. And now I'm logged in as root. Now, if you want to set up LXD, there's some commands that Noah left here, and what we might want to do is a LXD init. So let's go ahead and do that. And we're going to set up our LXD. Now, I'm going to answer yes, or just I'm going to take all the defaults for the most part. So we'll go ahead and go through that. Set up our bridge. Set up our IPv4 and IPv6. And now LXD is set up. So that just gives you a quick overview. If you want to use the desktops, there's these desktops over here. You can either click activities, or you can hold Control Alt and then up and down arrow. That'll also navigate between the desktops. Okay, that's it.